the Tecno Camon 40 Pro or the Redmi Note 14 Pro. Which is the better phone? In this video, I'm putting them side by side in different categories to help you make that decision. First off, the Tecno Camon 40 Pro retails for between 350,000 naira to 358,000 naira, depending on where you are buying for. And the Redmi Note 14 has an official starting price of 407,000 naira. I don't know the recommended retail price of the Tecno because there isn't an official word from them yet in Nigeria. The price I am sharing with you here is for the variant with 8 GB RAM and 256 GB storage space because this is what I have. However, the Redmi Note 14 Pro has models like that of the 8 GB RAM and 128 GB storage space option, and it will be cheaper than this one. Or you can even go more expensive and get the 12 GB RAM and 512 GB storage space option. You can also expand the storage space on the Note 40 Pro, but you can't expand the storage space on the Camon 40 Pro. The Tecno Camon 40 Pro only has 8 GB RAM and 258 GB storage space, and there isn't any other storage or RAM option. They both use the LPDDR4X RAM type and UFS 2.2 storage type. Kindly subscribe to the channel. We are on a mission to cross 100,000 subscribers by the end of December, and please help me cross that goal. Both phones have a distinct design and build quality. They don't look the same. We have a vertical camera arrangement on the Camon 40 Pro and a squarish camera island at the back of the Redmi Note 14 Pro. Both phones have plastic at the back, but the Camon 40 Pro has a matte finish that helps with the grip in hand. In terms of weight, the Redmi is a bit heavier. They both feel good in the hand though because they have this slight curve that make them comfortable to hold overall. The Redmi Note 14 Pro has an IP64 water and dust resistant rating, while we have an IP68 and IP69 dust proof and water resistance rating, which is better. The Camon 40 Pro has a dedicated one tap button that can be used to call up the camera, or with a double tap you can summon Ella, the AI voice assistant. There is also an indicator light at the back of the Tecno Camon 40 Pro, and it can really be helpful. It keeps you informed while charging the phone or while shooting a video. It blinks red and it can be customized to kind of do different things in the settings. We have dual stereo speakers on both phones and they sound really great. We also have an IR blaster on both phones, and the Redmi Note 14 Pro has a headphone port that is lacking on the Camon 40 Pro. Both phones don't feel cheap in any way, but as for design, I like how the Camon 40 Pro looks bold and different from what we have been used to lately. Both phones have an optical under-display fingerprint scanner and they are relatively fast. I can't tell which one is faster than the other. There is also an option to use face unlock on both phones, but it's not as safe as using the fingerprint scanner to unlock the phone. We have a smaller 6.67-inch display on the Redmi Note 14 Pro and a larger 6.78-inch display on the Tecno Camon 40 Pro. They are both curved display, and the Redmi has the Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 and we have the Corning Gorilla Glass 7i on the Camon 40 Pro. The glass on the Redmi is definitely better. They both have a 120Hz refresh rate and feel smooth while scrolling. The screen resolution on both phones is 1080p, and honestly, this aspect is really close. They are both bright and colors pop on the screen. The bezels are almost the same size, and you have to really nitpick to know that the bezels on the Camon 40 Pro are a bit slimmer. A lot of people might prefer the smaller size of the Redmi display because it's more comfortable to use with one hand. You get the always on display feature on both phones, and they are equally bright under direct sunlight. Streaming content or playing games is also enjoyable across both displays, but honestly, this aspect is just a tie. They have a lot in common when it comes to the display. The Camon 40 Pro comes packed with a lot of AI features, and it makes the Redmi Note 14 Pro look like it has nothing to offer in terms of AI. The Camon 40 Pro has Circle to Search, AI writing assistant, AI call assistance, and real-time call translation when speaking with someone in another language. There's also an AI wallpaper generator, as well as an AI image expander and AI eraser for pictures. You only get the AI image expand and AI image eraser on the Redmi Note 14 Pro, and that's pretty much it. There is no other AI feature unless what you get in the camera. If you are making your decision based on AI features to buy any of these phones, then just go ahead and buy the Tecno Camon 40 Pro. You'll be okay with the AI features it's offering at this price point. We have Android 15 based on iOS 15 on the Tecno Camon 40 Pro and Android 14 based on HyperOS on the Redmi. You are getting 2 years of software updates on the Tecno, which means it will get to Android 17, while we are getting 3 years of software updates on the Redmi, and it will be at Android 17. Right now, it's on Android 14, and if you add up, the 3 years, it will be on Android 17, which is pretty much the same thing. Both phones offer a lot of customization features and they both have pre-installed apps. The Redmi Note 14 Pro has more apps installed and you can remove as much apps as you want, but the annoying ads in some parts of the UI of the Redmi is something I don't like. They both give you split screen and floating windows, and you also get the lock screen carousel on the Camon 40 Pro, which is something that wasn't there before on Tecno phones. I don't even like it. There's also dynamic ports for added functionality on the Tecno, which is not available on the Redmi. One thing is that software is closer than ever, and it might come down to personal preference. I prefer what I have on the Tecno Camon 40. It just looks a bit cleaner to me. For performance, both phones have the MediaTek Helio G100, and I don't think there's any difference in this aspect. Both handle performance great for the price, and you can enjoy playing Call of Duty on both phones seamlessly. I tried other games like Real Racing 3 on both phones and they played that game smoothly. Even after playing for a while, everything seemed to be okay and overheating wasn't really an issue because both of them have cooling chambers. Apps load quickly and you can't take away anything from these phones in terms of performance, and it just has to be a tie. Now, the camera aspect is interesting. The Camon 40 Pro has a 50 megapixel Sony primary camera, and we have a 2 megapixel primary lens on the Redmi. They are accompanied by an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens, and we have a 2 megapixel macro lens on the Redmi. The third lens on the Camon 40 Pro is for the IR blaster. For selfie, we have 50 megapixel on the Tecno and 32 megapixel on the Redmi Note 14 Pro. When it comes to pictures, you're expecting the 2 megapixel lens to be better, right? In reality, the pictures from the Camon 40 Pro looked better. It tends to be a bit warm and almost show the real color from the images. You can see that we have images from the Redmi that have a lot of brightness in them. Even in low light, I prefer the picture from the Camon 40 Pro. The selfie also appeared to be much better on the Tecno phone. Here is a video sample from both phones, and I'm shooting 2K 30 FPS on the Tecno and 1080p 30 FPS on the Redmi. Let me know what you think about the video quality in the comment section. And the Redmi can't exceed 1080p 30 FPS, which is a bummer. For battery, we have 5500 on the Redmi Note 14 Pro and 5200 on the Camon 40 Pro. They both support 45-watt charging speed, which is impressive, and you can get a day of battery life on both phones. In this aspect, the battery is really close, but the extra milliampere you get on the Redmi Note 14 Pro place it ahead of the Tecno. Now, rounding up, the Camon 40 Pro seems to offer more value for money. It has many AI features, good design, and a better camera overall. The Redmi also performs well and feels great in the hand, but Tecno is just giving you more at this price category. It is also cheaper. What else would you like to know about both phones? Let me know in the comment section and I'll be happy to see you in my next video.